AEW is down bad. I'm talking really bad. This show was absolutely pitiful. It was a waste of 2 hours. And I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. It's time for Tony Khan to be removed. And Warner Brothers needs to step in, and they need to relieve Tony Khan of his duties, and he just needs to just fund AEW. And they bring in some suits and ties that know the wrestling business, that know how to write stories and everything else, and you relegate those assignments to those guys. Or you could use wrestlers that he has there that get the business, like Jeff Jarrett and others, those guys, those veterans, and you let those be the guys that book and write the shows. But Tony Khan has got to be removed from AEW. Seriously, enough is enough. A total disaster of a show. We have some news and notes real quick. So apparently AEW is going to be on Amazon Prime sometime this year. It's supposed to happen sometime this year. I don't know when exactly it's going to happen. In 2025? Don't know. But it's going to be another digital option for them to stream their pay-per-views in the US, Canada, the UK. So we don't know when we're going to get the option, but that is pretty cool. So there is some positives for AEW right there. If I had to make an educated guess, I would imagine this will probably happen maybe around the summer. So as we get closer to All In July, maybe they'll make the announcement then. Maybe it could happen around Double or Nothing in May, but we don't know yet. That's in basically 3 months, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But that is good, actually. I wonder if we're gonna be able to watch old pay-per-views from AEW, back in 2019 and 2020. So maybe they'll give us that option as well. So that should be interesting. Speaking of All In, so apparently right now AEW has sold, I think, 10,000 tickets right now. Well, no, my bad. I apologize. They're actually booking the show for 10,000. So that's what I meant to say. So the show is, the show capacity, the total capacity that they're booking for is probably going to be about 10,000 people, if not more. Hopefully, as we get closer to July, maybe things can pick up. And maybe that 10,000 can go to maybe like 15,000, maybe even 20,000. So have to wait and see. So let's go ahead and get into this miserable show. AEW Dynamite from January the 29th, 2025. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Will Ospreay defeats Brian Cage. This match went on for forever. This lasted about close to 20 minutes. It shouldn't have. It was basically a back and forth match when it really shouldn't have been at all. I hate when Tony Khan does that dumb shit. So, Will Ospreay, he gets the win via the Styles Clash, basically. Before the match even took place, Don Callis revealed on the Titantron that Kenny Omega had been taken out. And so that's how Brian Cage, he got some offense in by attacking Will Ospreay early on. at the start of the match. Post-match, it was a horrible beatdown angle. So Lance Archer and Brian Cage, they beat up Will Ospreay. Kenny Omega, he comes out with a steel chair to clean house for a brief moment. Then the rest of the Don Callis family, they show up, that being Kyle Fletcher and Tenosuke Takeshita, and they beat the shit out of both guys, basically, and that was it. The beatdown was a little bit too long, but it is what it is. I don't care about this at all. Like, this is some lame-ass shit, if we're being honest. But they put Brian Cage in the same predicament that he was in last week when he faced, well, no, not last week, but 2 weeks ago when Kenny Omega had his return match. So, yeah, I don't know why they went back to that. It makes no sense. Who cares, though? It's AEW. Moving on. So, Renee Paquette, she tries to get in a word with Swerve Strickland. So, he's interrupted by Hangman Adam Page. He's storming around. He's looking for something. He won't answer any questions, so he bumps into MJF. So, MJF makes remarks about Adam Page walking around with no repercussions. So he addresses Jeff Jarrett. He says that tonight Jeff Jarrett has to go out there alone against Claudio, and all because he refused MJF's offer a few weeks back. Jacob Freeman has an offer for Jeff Jarrett, one that he won't be able to decline, and that is the Last Outlaws' last ride. Okay, this is fine, I guess. It seems like they're going to turn Hangman babyface slowly but surely. Makes sense. I guess the crowd wants it. I wish the Hangman could have been heel a little bit longer, but it does make sense. They're going to turn him slowly back into a babyface again, so it is what it is. And it seems like they're going to feud MJF with Hangman Adam Page. That'll probably start around Double or Nothing in May. I would imagine that MJF's main feud for a small bit until Double or Nothing is going to be Jeff Jarrett. They'll probably have their first match at Revolution, their second match on a random episode of Dynamite, and maybe their third and final match may be at Double or Nothing, if it goes that long. But this will probably be a trilogy between MJF and Jeff Jarrett. That's just me thinking out loud. Hopefully I'm wrong with the shit, but I'm probably not. I'm probably going to be proven right. Moving on. So, Powerhouse Hobbs, he's backstage, apparently. He says that he promises to hurt Big Bill. He said that hell is just the beginning. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Do I care about this? This all took place on Collision. Moving on. So, Claudio Castagnoli defeats Jeff Jarrett with the help of the Death Riders. So, Willa Yuta and Jon Moxley and Pac, they all come out. They distract the referee. This allows for Moxley to hit the paradigm shift, and then Claudio defeats Jeff Jarrett abruptly with not one but two neutralizers. I don't know why it took him two to beat Jeff Jarrett. It should have just taken him one. And why does he need help from the Death Riders to beat Jeff Jarrett? That makes no fucking sense to me. It really makes no sense to me. But it is what it is. Post-match, MJF, he comes out. He gets on the mic. He starts to say something. And then he hits Jeff Jarrett with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF says that he respects his elders. And that's why he's not going to say, I told you so. And then that was it. So, MJF was only out there for about a good, 10 seconds or whatever, I guess. All right, that's fine, I guess. Do I give a damn? No. And I figured they were going to sour on this. I figured we were going to get a swerve in this anyway. It makes sense. Jeff Jarrett is not somebody that you want to be world champion in either the long term or short term at all, period. So they still might give Jeff Jarrett a title opportunity, probably at a Dynamite, probably on a Dynamite, maybe after Revolution or whatever, something like that. I don't know. Because it seems like for Revolution, that's going to be their starter, their big pay-per-view. It's their starter. You would think that they would do Moxley and Edge at Revolution, which is in 6 weeks. We still have some time for that, but we don't know yet, if we're being honest. But I think you could just do Jeff Jarrett and Jon Moxley on a random episode of Dynamite, and you would still get the same outcome of Moxley winning, and then Jeff Jarrett, I guess, goes away. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this stuff plays out. I do think that they are going to do Moxley and Jeff Jarrett sometime between now and Revolution. Then maybe that's when, MJF shows up. He cost Jeff Jarrett that match, and that's how we get their match at Revolution. So that's probably where this is all headed. Maybe. Because to me, that makes the most plausible sense for MJF to get involved and cost Jeff Jarrett the match. But again, I don't think that they were ever going to have Jeff Jarrett, be in the world title picture. I think that was just there just to do that because Tony Khan wanted to fucking do it. So, yeah. Moving on. So, Ricochet, he's backstage with Renee Paquette. Renee tells Ricochet that if there's any interference from Swerve during the match against AR Fox, the Swerve and Ricochet match in Atlanta is going to be forfeited. So, Ricochet says that he's quite pleased to hear that. He says he'll address things further this Saturday on Collision, and that was that. Ricochet defeats AR Fox, which I don't know why AR Fox is still on television. He needs to go back to Ring of Honor and just kind of just stay there, or maybe get his walking papers and maybe go to TNA or something like that. I don't know, or just go on the Indies. Not being mean, but let's just be honest. And this match was too long as well. And you put AR Fox. You put Ricochet in the same spot you put Swerve in, where they both have faced AR Fox for whatever reason. Swerve faced him last week, and now Ricochet faces him this week. It makes no sense. I don't get it. Like, why is he on television twice? Why is he on television 2 weeks in a row? Makes no damn sense. What the fuck? So post-match, Swerve shows up with his chain. He's about to take out Ricochet. But Ricochet, he grabs AR Fox and he uses him as a human shield. And he's got scissors pressed against his throat. And that allowed for Ricochet to escape. And Swerve just gives Ricochet a nasty look to remind them that they got one more week left until they face each other in Atlanta. Okay, that's fine. So, makes sense there. I would imagine we're going to get those two at Revolution. So their second match will take place at Revolution. My thing is, should this be a trilogy or should this be just a little mini feud for Swerve? So, I don't know. It all depends. We have to see how that's going to all play out and turn out. Moving on. So, we get a clip from Renee Paquette backstage. So, the Death Riders, they're there. I didn't watch the video of them. I will watch it, but I did not watch it. But I will watch it. So, Jon Moxley, he gets on the... he's backstage. And he addresses why the AEW World title is locked up. He said... he says that he talks to himself about being the world champion, which is something you don't show off or take pictures with. He's building people up like him by putting them through what he's been through or worse. Okay, that makes no sense. This Death Riders storyline is just hot garbage. It sucks. It's absolutely worthless. It's a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. This storyline cannot last until All In. It cannot last until July. There is no way. There is no fucking way. This thing has been universally hated amongst everybody who has common sense in the YWC and in the IWC. It has been universally hated. This shit cannot go on until July. It can't. There is no way. There is no way. This has to end at Revolution. It has to. It has to. I get that Grand Slam Australia is just a glorified house show, so obviously it wouldn't end there. But for fuck's sake, it has to end at Revolution. It's got to. There is no way. There is no way this thing can go on for another 6 months. There's no fucking way. There's no way. No way. Because people are leaving in droves with this shit, man. People are leaving in droves. The ratings have been tanking for weeks now. For weeks. And this thing's been going on for a good 6 months. This thing's been going on since October. This is not good. There is no way that this thing can last until July. There's no way. There is no way. And I get some people want Darby to win and stuff. Look, Darby's not believable as champion. Darby would make an okay transitional champion, literally for like about a month to 2 months at best. Not even 3 months. Just at best 2 months. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Moving on. This leads us into Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree. So he talks about the violence of the film, which is Dark Match, which is coming out this coming Friday. So he talks about Big Bill, about how violent he can be, W. Morrissey. So W. Morrissey talks about feeling stronger than he's ever been, taking the Learning Tree's words to heart. But Chris Jericho says he needs to work harder before addressing the tag match that he and Brian Keefe are going to be involved in on Collision. And then he makes fun of the Outrunners, and he said he's going to get revenge for losing the Big 12-man tag. Okay? Who cares about any of this? I really don't. It seems like they're teasing a breakup between the Learning Tree, so that makes sense. I guess they're probably going to push W. Morrissey as a singles act, maybe. I don't know. Don't really give a fuck. Moving right along. Jay White defeats Wheeler Yuta via the Blade Runner. This is sad. This is sad. I feel so bad for Jay White. I feel so bad for Jay White. Jay White should have never, ever signed to AEW at all, period. Jay White should have went to TNA for a couple years. He's only, 30 even? He'd have been 32. He could still go to WWE, maybe go to NXT for about 6 months to get their style down pat, and then go up to the main roster and kill it. Oh, man. How the mighty have fallen. Poor Jay White. Oof. Poor Jay White. Man, this was sad. This was sad. So Jay White was going to get beat up by the Death Riders like he has been for a small bit. So right after they show up and they clear the ring, Dax Harwood gets on the mic from FTR. He talks about the Death Riders and how they've operated. Then he challenges them to a Mid-South street fight. Who cares? Just moving the fuck on from this shit. Moving on. So we get Tony Storm. This happened on Collision, which is cool. I didn't watch the Collision episode. I will go back and watch the Tony Storm segment. So she basically reverted back to her Thomas. I mean, my bad. Her Thomas Tony gimmick, which is great. And then she challenged Mariah May at Grand Slam Australia. So that's cool. I do like this. This is interesting. So does Tony win in Australia? Probably so. And I guess you end the feud at Revolution. So that's what you do. Although it's not going to matter because it's going to be on a tape delay for us U.S. fans. And it's not going to really be live. It's just going to be, I think, at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, yeah. So, I mean, that's fine. Again, it's just a glorified house show, basically. It was supposed to be a stadium, but it didn't work out for whatever reason, which the product has not been good. That's probably why. And Tony has not really put much of an effort into that show, so yeah. So that's fine. But she reverted back to her original gimmick and all that with Thomas Tony Storm. It was all ruse. She was just playing games with Mariah May. So yeah, there's that. Moving on, we get a video package involving the Guns, the Gun Club. That's great. So I'm glad they're there. That's pretty cool. So nice. Then we get the Hurt Syndicate. They have a little video package. So MVP declares that they'll take on anyone, anywhere to defend the titles. And he reminds everybody that they hurt people. Okay, cool, that's fine. But I really wish this would have gotten an actual in-ring segment, in my opinion. Moving on. So we get a video package about Tenosuke Takeshita. All right, that's fine. Moving on from that. The Vendetta, which is Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo, they said that they were going to challenge Harley Cameron to a fight on Collision, saying that she belongs to the Vendetta. Okay, that's fine. This is okay, but Deonna's probably going to be, I guess, relegated to Collision going forward. This is just to further prove that point. She's going to be on Collision for sure, more than likely. Her and Taya Valkyrie are going to both be on Collision. I doubt they'll ever see Dynamite ever again. I doubt it. Even when Britt Baker leaves, they won't see Dynamite. They won't see it. Main event of the evening, Mercedes Moné defeats Yuka Sakazaki. The reason why Yuka got this match, the reason why she got this match was because one of her mentors ended up retiring, and so she tweeted to Tony Khan. Tony Khan gave her the match, and that's why she got it. And that's why she was also there a week or two ago. So there's that, okay? Mercedes wins, and that was it. That was Dynamite. Show sucked. It's just awful. Just absolute garbage, but it is what it is. Again, Dynamite has been horrible for basically like 5 years, and I'm one of the very few that's called it down the middle, and I've called it fair. When it's okay, it's okay. When it's bad, it's bad. But this show was just awful. It was just awful. I don't know what to say. I really don't. It's just time for Tony Khan to be removed. It's time. It's really time. Seriously. Tony Khan has to be removed. If AEW is going to survive, he has to be removed. There's no other way.